to my channel. If you're new here, please do subscribe down below. I upload videos about Africa, the black community and growing as a whole. So if you're interested in videos on those topics, then please do subscribe down below to join our community. So, oh gosh, these past months have just been, I don't know what to call them. They have been beyond difficult for black people and the black community. They have been triggering, they have been traumatic, they have been rage inducing, they have been a wave of different emotions. It's, in a sense, it's nice to know that a lot of white people's eyes are being opened for the first time. But for a lot of us black people in this world, and we have been through this, we've been known, we've been telling you guys, we've been shouting that racism exists and racism is a problem within our communities and within society in general. So whilst it is nice to have your support, it's also a very traumatic time for us black people, and I advise all black people to, you know, take a few days off, like, of social media, take a hiatus, think about your mental health during this time, because not only is there a pandemic out, but just more and more people are speaking up about racism and their racist experiences, and more people are coming out of the woodworks. More people, you would think during this time nobody would want to be associated with racism, but more and more people are coming out as racist, and they're really showing their true colors, and it can really hurt just to know that these people still exist, because sometimes you think to yourself racism exists, but you don't think it's in your communities. As a black British person, I can say that things like racism exist because we know there's systematic oppressions put upon us, such as getting jobs. People get fired still, people don't get hired because of their hairstyles, like as a black woman with natural hair. Sometimes your name, you can be discriminated against because of your name, things like that. But we also do have laws preventing racial hatred and inciting racial hatred. So we have that protection, whereas the US don't. I'm not here to play oppression or struggle Olympic. I will 100% say that the police brutality and just being black in America is extremely hard, and I can't even imagine what it must be like for black Americans living in America. It must be extremely difficult for them, and I will never try and speak for them, because I can't speak for them. I don't know their experiences, but my heart goes out to them. My heart goes out to everyone affected, not only by systematic injustice, police brutality, but who've lost their family members, and who've also been lost their family members to COVID due to a lack of care or a lack of treatment from staff in hospitals, because I've seen that there are racial bias, racial injustice within the healthcare system, causing a lot of black Americans to lose their lives, which is atrocious, and it's genocide. It's genocide. I don't know why it's not spoken about enough. But something that does weigh on my mind a lot is that in the US they know their enemies, you know, and in the UK we don't have that advantage to ourselves as black people. White people or the British public often say, oh, racism doesn't exist, blah blah blah, all this, and they're all nice to your face, but you don't know what they're doing behind closed doors. That racial organizations still exist in the UK, torturing, terrorizing communities still to this day, 2020. They are killing black and other ethnic minority people, and the police are just as racist as well. Videos are surfacing of police using unjust force in certain situations to detain and arrest black people. They are stopping and searching black people with they are entering houses with no warrants, and all of these all of these racially charged attempts, and they cover it by saying, well, we're dealing with neighborhoods that are violent, that have a history of violence, things like that, just perpetuating the narrative that us black people are dangerous, us black people are the problem in society, and not tackling the real issue, which is systematic racial injustice within the police system. And that's one reason why for those of you who don't know, my background, my degree when I went to university was actually within the law field, and I was looking to become a forensic scientist. My degree was also linked into policing, because you have to know how the system works. I was the only black girl on that course, first of all. Second of all, we would have officers who worked for the police tell us that they have friends still on the force, they have people still on the force who they know are racist, but nobody speaks out about it, nobody says anything. And if you as a black person say that the police are racist, then people are like, no, they're not, how dare you say this, blah 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 blah, when it's evident, it's clear, when they are attacking our communities, when they are painting us a certain way through the British media. I'm not even going to touch on them, because they are just far beyond racist. What they did to people like Meghan Markle, or just black artists, the way they portray us in the media, I'm just done. British media are just trash. They're just rubbish, okay? And they feed into the white population's mentality of how black people are, and it's just irking to know that there's just so many layers that we have to dismantle, and it's us, and the burden is on us as black people. Like, why are you racist, and then I have to tell you and try to challenge the systems that you've put up against me? Like, why? Like, it honestly can just be a burden to be a black person in society, especially as someone like me, who is an avid traveler, a black traveler. It's heartbreaking, because when I book a flight to a country and things like that, I'm always searching about racism within the country. So why do I have to do that? Like, why do I have to be cautious of racism in a country? Why do I have to be cautious of... It's just like with my gender. I shouldn't have to feel some places are unsafe for me in 2020 in the Western world. I'm not going somewhere like Syria. I'm not going to somewhere that there's war. Like, what? So why am I having to worry about my race still when I'm booking a flight? Something I do love and applaud is a lot of black artists, influencers, people with a following speaking up, using their platform to voice their experiences. It's so heartwarming to see that we are all in this fight together, and that we have had enough. The black community, we are tired. We are not about to just beg you to treat us like human beings anymore. No, there is going to be change. So I do really love seeing that black people are speaking up. But something that's really pissing me off about the Black Lives Matter movement are the white people who are being fake advocates, okay? We don't need you in our space. We don't need you in the trying to give your fake support to the community, because we know it's a lie. We know you don't care about black lives. We know that your life is privileged, and it's mainly white women doing this, and there's stupid boyfriends taking pictures within protests, taking pictures of you trying to help black people, or just taking pictures with black people saying we are in this together. Bitch, no we aren't. Because when the police come, where are you? You're nowhere to be found. You know, you want to post these squares on Instagram like they're doing anything, like you're making a change. You're not doing anything, love. Yes, to all these girls out here, just stay at home. We don't need you in this movement, because it's clear that your intentions are fake. It's clear that you really don't care, because if you did care, you'd be doing so much. You know, protests aren't a cool, hip thing to do. They are movements for change. Okay, so it's clear that you don't care for change. You just want to be seen. You just want to be seen to appear like you were doing something when really you weren't. And I've touched on like the children of racism, like colorism, featureism, white people feeling the need to help Africans or African communities, but really it's more detrimental in several videos, which I'll link here. But I've never really tackled racism as a problem. Obviously, I cannot in this short video talk about everything in relation to racism, whether that's in the UK or America or just any country basically touched by Britain. Okay, like I can't, there's just too much. The extent of racism and the scars it's left across the world is just too vast. Like there's just so much to talk about. Like I can't. I can't. You know, if you really want to help understand race, understand black struggles, really racism, black struggles, read books. Like talk to your black friends, ask them about their experiences, ask them how you can help. That's the most important thing, because a lot of white people get discouraged or get scared talking about race because they're scared they will offend. But you staying silent is just as bad. It's even worse. It's worse that I am telling you my stories and you're just like, oh, that sucks. Oh, like, you know, not taking the initiative to ask how you can help. Just the smallest thing, you know, the smallest, when you change one mindset, it's a lot. It's a lot. And people, I don't think white people understand their power to evoke change as much as they do. Because when black people, we've been saying this for centuries, no one wants to listen to us because they just think we're complaining. Especially as a black female, we're just labeled as the angry black woman, when literally our kids are dying, our family members are dying, our friends are dying because of the color of their skin. Like, you can't even imagine. Like, me and my family, we had to have a talk with my 7-year-old brother about racism. Like, we had to let him know that there will be people in this world that will hate you because of the color of your skin. You cannot understand that level of trauma, that level of hurt, like no other race can understand that level of hurt. To know that people would just hate you for just being you, for the color of your skin. It's a lot. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I urge every black person, take a few days off of social media. It can be a lot. It can really affect your mental health. And this is a fight that we've been fighting for centuries. This is a fight that I don't see ending anytime soon. So you have to, especially as black women, because I see black women the forefront of these movements, that we are the majority of the crowd, and I've seen pictures of people being hurt, killed in these protests. Like, black women, please be careful. Please, because we are the most disrespected people on this planet. We are the most undervalued, and yet we have the most heart. Please take care of yourself, black women. Please make sure you are safe. Please, everyone out there in these protests, make sure you are safe. Yes, we are fighting for change, but you can't fight if you're dead. Yes, I'm going to leave it on that note. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see what the future holds. Bye.